Hello and welcome to Adobe InDesign Live. We're going to talk about ePUB versus interactive PDF. Which one is best? Which one should you use? Maybe which one you shouldn't use. Depends on what it is you're trying to do. And I'll explain the reasons behind my answers for that question. So let's jump in. Let's take a look at the document. It's probably a document if you've watched me do ePUB work before. It's the same ePUB document I always use because it's well designed and well put together. But let's go ahead and jump over to the computer. And we've got the infamous Playfest souvenir book. Now this was designed, if we go through the pages, this was designed to, let's just do it this way here, to basically be a souvenir booklet, a digital version of it for these bands that were putting on a concert. And of course, with this souvenir booklet, it would be interactive where you would have links, you would have videos, you would have animations, you would have audio, you would have all of these things to experience after the show was over. So that was the idea. Now, how does this work? How do you even make something interactive for those of you who are brand new or new to InDesign or new to interactivity in InDesign? InDesign has had interactivity for quite a while now, quite a few versions. Back when it first came out, that interactivity was really designed around Flash output, outputting your InDesign document as a Flash document that would be put on the web. That's what it was originally for. And of course, once the Flash format started to come down and the HTML5 format started to go up, this format really wasn't that useful. So the InDesign team went back, took those same animation features and made them more useful by repurposing them into HTML5 and ePUB. So same animation features that you were always using, but now you can really use them again because you can use them in formats that people will be able to digest. So for example, let's take this block of text here I have on the right page. Now this text right now, if I were to look at this document electronically or deliver it, the text would just sit there. But if I wanted that text to animate in, then I can go to the animation panel, which one of the ways to get to these panels is to just simply switch to digital publishing as your workspace, and that will give you all of the panels that you see here. I've customized and added a few more, but that will give you the animation, the timing, the media panel, the object state, so forth and so on. So right now, it shows me the name of this object, and it says, hey, choose a preset. How do you want to animate this? So I can just choose a preset, and these are all built in. I don't have to code anything. I don't have to know anything about animation or coding. I just pick the one that I think does what I want it to do. It will even show me a little preview of it in the box up here, and then I can see if that's what I want. So I say, well, I want to fly this in from the right. I get a little InDesign butterfly flying in from the right. And if I want to now preview that on my text, I could. But even before I preview it on the text, I just want to point out that it even gives me this little green animation path with the arrow pointing in the direction that it's going to go in. So it's already showing me, hey, this is going to come in from the right-hand side. And yes, that is a path that can be tweaked. So if you want to curve the path and have the animation fly in wavy, you can do that. You can adjust that path. This path has points on it, and you can use the pen tool and adjust that path any way you want. Now, at the bottom of the animation panel, and most of these panels, there will be a preview button. And if I click preview, that will show me what this would look like. And we saw the text fly in. Now, let's say I thought, well, that was a little quick. You know, I didn't really, if I wanted something subtle, that's great. But if I really wanted to take its time and have it fly in, then I want it to take longer than 1 second. So I can increase the duration. Let's go up to maybe 2.25 seconds. I can play it again. And now it came in slower. It took twice as long to come in that time. So that's how the animation panel has always worked. You just basically choose what you want, choose your options, choose your speed, choose what you want it to do, and it would do it. The problem, though, is outputting this in a format that people can consume. So let's talk about that, because the animation part is really easy. It always has been in InDesign, but the export part is the problem. So what are my choices? How can I get this into a format that people can see? Well, there's a clue right here. In the preview button, hang on, let me hover over the preview button. If I hover over the preview button, it even gives me a little flyout warning there. If I zoom in on that, maybe we'll still be able to see it. It says I can either preview this spread as an ePUB or I can option click. Hold on, let me zoom out a little bit more so you can see the rest of that. I can option or alt click to preview the spread as a SWF, which is a flash format. So really, that animation is only going to work as an ePUB or flash document. It's not going to work in any other format. So right off the bat, you can forget about that type of animation in a PDF file because things just don't move that way in PDFs. Okay, but let's say that I want to output this document. What are my choices? Well, your choices are the choices they've always been. You can go to your file menu, you can go to export, and you can choose Adobe PDF Interactive. You can choose ePUB, fixed layout, which is ePUB 3. You can still choose to make a SWF file, which is a flash file that you could put on the web or put in an application or whatever. So you still have all the same formats you always had. But keep in mind, these formats may or may not respect your animation choices. They may not respect your interactivity choices. And even if they do, they still may not be visible depending on what the person has used to view your document. So let's get into that. All right, the title of this was Interactive PDF versus ePUB. All right, so let's say that I want to make an ePUB. Well, that's easy. I would just go to ePUB Fixed Layout, tell it where I want to save it. I'm going to put it in the same folder with the PDFs. I don't think I really need to change anything. I'm just going to use all the settings. Yep, spread control based on document setup. View it when it's done in the default app. Great, just do it. And now it's exporting out the ePUB, giving me a warning about some of the links, but that's okay. And here comes my ePUB book, ready to go. I didn't give it a cover. It would have been nice if I'd given it a cover, but I didn't. And now I can, of course, navigate my ePUB. And here comes my animation. There's my animation there. My bookmarks work. I can jump to various pages in the document. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. All right, that didn't work, but it should have. I still have the ability, if I go over to one of the pages that has video, I have the ability to play that video, hear that video, go full screen on that video. I have the ability to play audio. All of this was placed inside of the InDesign document. I have the ability to click on links to go to the Twitter page, the Facebook page, the SoundCloud page. All of this works. So for the most part, the ePUB is going to deliver the experience that I designed in InDesign. It looks like the InDesign document. It has all the interactivity, including the animations. It's got video and audio. It's got links. It's got pretty much everything I would want in an interactive document. All right, let's look at that same document as an ePUB, or I'm sorry, as a PDF that I exported earlier. Now, here's the problem right off the bat. If I double click this PDF, well, my default viewer is Apple's preview because that's what's on my operating system by default, and that's what's going to open PDFs unless I'm savvy enough to download the Adobe Reader. See where this is going? What if I send this to you on your mobile device, your mobile phone, your tablet? Then that means it's going to open up, it's just going to view in the operating system. iOS can view PDFs, Android can view PDFs, Windows Mobile can view PDFs, and they're just going to view natively in the operating system as PDFs have for years. So what happens then is you lose all that interactivity. There's no movie here to play. The links do work here as a PDF. The link works there, that's great. But this movie, just an image. I can't click on that and play that in preview. I can't click on this audio file and play that. I wouldn't even know that was an audio file, but I just remember it was from the ePUB. So most of my interactivity, meaning animations, movies, and video, or movies and audio, aren't working. All right, let's say that I'm savvy enough to know better. Let's open it up in the Adobe Reader instead. I've got Adobe Acrobat. All right, so here it is in Acrobat. I should get a better experience, right? Because now I'm in Acrobat that can handle interactive PDFs. So great, I see my hyperlinks there. They work, that's cool. And let's go down to the next page. Oh, there's that video. Click to activate. Oh, warning. This would require the Adobe Flash Player. Then it would work. It would play it. But if I don't have a Flash Player installed, which many people from here on out aren't going to have it installed, and Flash has already been slated to be discontinued as far as support and development, the format that is. So this is just not going to be a good experience for your viewers. It could be today, but for the future, it's not going to be. Because things like that, the Flash Player, if they don't have the Flash Player installed and they didn't open up your document in Adobe Reader or Acrobat, they're not even going to see the video. They don't even notice the video there. So these are the problems with interactive PDF. And this is why you rarely even hear Adobe mention interactive PDF anymore. Because we know this is a format that until we decide, or if we decide to do some evolution to it, it's pretty much locked in a time that has passed. Because these kinds of things just don't work in PDF. And it's really not, I'm gonna give Adobe some credit here. It's really not Adobe's credit for this, because on the one hand, you want PDF to be a universal format that can be viewed anywhere. And because it's a standard, that doesn't mean that everyone adopts every piece of the standard and implements it. So that's why the viewing experience is inconsistent from platform to platform, player to player, if you're not using the Adobe branded player, the Adobe branded viewer. So yes, this would work. I still wouldn't have animations that fly in, but I would have the video, I would have the audio, I would have the links, I would have the bookmarks, I would have the buttons if I view it in an Adobe viewer. If I view it in something else, the operating system, preview, anything else, all bets are off. Some things might work, some things might not work. And you have no control over what your client, your audience is going to view it in. So therefore, this is the problem with interactive PDF. All right, so let's switch back to ePUB for a second. Let's close this. Let's go to ePUB, and I was viewing the newer version of that, but here's the full original version that I had exported with a nice cover, remembering what page I was on, all the nice animations, everything works. How does this work then? How do people view this? Well, luckily, it requires a viewer. That means that the experience will be consistent. As long as your audience has a compatible or downloads a compatible ePUB 3 viewer, they'll be able to view your content on whatever device they want and see it the way it was intended. They'll be able to watch your movies. They won't need Flash Player. They won't need anything special. It'll all be there for them to view. Now, how do they get those viewers? Where do those viewers come from? Well, it depends on the platform, but let me switch over to a web page here. I'll try to put this in the chat, but basically it's epubtest.com/resources.php. This will take you to a list of compatible devices, compatible ePUB applications, readers, all the ones that say ePUB 3. It even tells you what platform they're for and whether or not they're free, which most of them are. If you're on the Mac platform and the iOS platform, you've already got one. It's called iBooks. iBooks on the Mac, iBooks on iOS, already reads the stuff. You don't have to do anything else. If you're on Android, Windows, or something else, then you'll need to download a free player. And again, the free players are numerous. All the ones here, this list is always updated. All the ones that say ePUB 3, and especially if they say ePUB 3 and free, your client is all set. So you would just need to give them a link to the player that you prefer, or this page, and they can go download whatever player they want for whatever platform they're on. So there are tons of players, and there are players for all platforms that will play your ePUB 3 the way it was intended. All right, one more choice. If you don't want to deal with the player game, whether it's Acrobat, player, reader, viewer, or ePUB, reader, viewer, player, what if you just want people to be able to view stuff in a web browser? There's one more choice. As an InDesign user, you have this ability to publish online. When you choose File, Publish Online, or click the button if the button is in your bar, then what you can do is you can make an online document that will give you a link. It's hosted by Adobe. You don't have to do anything extra. It's part of your Creative Cloud. And it will give you the ability to share that link, and the person will just view your document as intended in a web browser on any device, and they will see your movies, they will hear your audio, they'll see your animations, they'll be able to navigate, they'll be able to do everything as if they had it natively, locally on their device. So really, you've got two choices as far as I'm concerned. If you want to be able to hand out a document, put a document on for people to download, then I would say ePUB 3 is going to be your choice. If you're going to want to have people have the ability to just, hey, go to this link and look at my document. Maybe it's my annual report for my company. Maybe it's my brochure. Maybe it's my resume. Whatever it is, the publish online is probably the best way to go. Because again, I'm looking at it in Chrome. I'm looking at it in a web browser. And it just works. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. I can play this video right here in the browser, and it plays. I can go full screen on it if I want. I can play the audio, download it, so forth and so on. So people get the full experience with Publish Online or ePUB 3, not with interactive PDF. Now, that's not to say that PDF is bad. I still use PDF every day. PDF is awesome as a delivery format for just regular documents. Documents with text and images. Documents of brochures and things that aren't interactive. PDF is awesome for that because everyone can view a PDF. And right now on every operating system, it's native. They can just view it and they can navigate. They can click on links. They can still do all that. But so the question is, does Adobe still charge customers to publish online? There was never a charge for this, Rob, to publish online. So I'm not sure what you mean by still charge. There was never a charge for this. All you had to do was be a Creative Cloud member. But anyway, the PDF format is still great for everything else, just not interactive. If you want to do interactive, I say stick to ePUB 3 or publish online from InDesign. All right, let's see if I missed any other blazing questions here. Yes, you can look back on this later. As soon as I stop the broadcast, you'll be able to go back to the beginning and rewatch it. Will output work inside of a Kindle? Rob, the problem with a Kindle is, and it's really more Amazon's problem than anything else, is Amazon wants to make it so no matter what Kindle you have, you'll be able to look at books that were created years ago. So therefore, they don't yet support ePUB 3 or fully support it. And that's the decision they made. They just don't support it. So the answer to your question is there are ways around it, there are hacks around it to make a compatible Kindle version, but not natively as an ePUB 3. So you'd have to do some extra work to get that to happen. All right. So InDesign. No, InDesign is not Adobe's version of WordPress. Not even close. All right. Hello, Atlanta. Hello from Atlanta as well. All right. I think I got everybody, or all the questions I saw here. So with that said, did you already show how to publish it or save it as an EPUB? I did, Troy, already show how to save it as an EPUB. You'll be able to go back and watch that in just a minute here. How long the Publish Online link will be valid? Until you stop it. So until you take it down or until you no longer are a Creative Cloud member. We don't take it down, so it's there forever. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Check out ePUB 3. Check out Publish Online. Check out PDFs for everything else that's not interactive. That would be my advice to you on formats and publishing. And with that said, take care. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.